We are live.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you, Lisa?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Do you value your life? Because if you do value your life, you will value your time.
Valuing your time.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely. We are going to talk about valuing your time. How much time do you have? How much time do you spend? How much time do you cherish? And how much time do you waste? Be right back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Would you share the origin of the quote before we proceed?
Yes. One of the great speakers, leaders, and titans of the speaking business was a guy named Brian Tracy. And I read all his books, and I got, well, not all of his books. He read like 70 of them. Okay, but I got a bunch of his books, and I've seen him in person. And one of the times I went and saw him in person, he stood up there, and he says, "Do you value your life?" And he kind of like gave that pregnant pause. He says, because if you do value your life, you will value your time. Your time is the stuff that makes up your life. And then he went deep into it. He's like, do you really value your life and value your time? And are you sure? Are you sure that you value your life and value your time? Because he wanted to question how you spend your time.
That's right. A direct indicator of what you value, what you appreciate, and what you like about your life, or what your plans are for your life, can be evaluated. Hey, Shaki, good morning. Can be evaluated by what you do.
Do you watch 3 hours of television a day? Minimally. Or sometimes 4 hours of television a day? We both have a great friend of ours. His name is Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. He wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. He also wrote the book Wealth Secrets for Black People, or something like that. We actually went and saw him when he came to town one day. We were supporting an event called the Family something event.
National Family Empowerment Expo.
National Family Empowerment Expo. And we had VIP access because we both were presenting at the event. And at the private luncheon, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough kind of broke it down for us. He was on his game in the private luncheon. But one thing, they had really, really good food. And he came and visited me. He saw, and I found out he was a New York Giants fan. We had that in common. So we had a little bit of rapport between Dr. Dennis Kimbrough and me. And a lot of you guys don't know this, but I'm a big guy. And while he was talking over our lunch. And I had picked up another chicken wing. Okay. Now he's doing his talk. I had picked up another chicken wing, and I was about to take a bite of the chicken wing. And he stops his talk and goes, "Brian, put the chicken wing down." And everyone got to laugh. But after that, he got back to his game. And one of the things he said was, if you're not yet earning the money that you want to earn, you cannot afford television. You can't afford to do it. What? We can't afford television? Are you earning the amount of money that you want to earn in your life? The TV is costing you that. And he was breaking it down like that. Do you remember it differently, or is that how you remember it?
That's how I remember it.
What? Now he's a man who's he makes enough money that he could be irreverent. He's a real millionaire speaker, okay, and a millionaire author. So he could be irreverent. He could say those kind of things. Good morning, Katura. Good morning, Shaki. How are you guys doing? Do you value your life? Because if you do value your life, you will value your time. And the way you know if you're valuing your life is how you spend your time.
How you spend it.
Mm-hmm.
How you spend it.
Yep.
And also, what's important to you will determine um, what you're valuing. Obviously, some people have different things that are important to them.
Mm-hmm.
Katura, you're valuing your purpose and your craft with dance. So you're spending time learning about it, doing it, exercising to be fit for it, all of those things. And those are the direct correlation for your
Mm-hmm.
valuing what you value and valuing your time. Um, hey, Brother Alton. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Dr. Deborah. Um,
Yes, Alton says, "Good day, power couple. Good to see you both doing well. Keep taking dominion, king and queen. That's right, and that's his ministry. He wants to remind people that they're kings and queens, and he wants to not only do that, him and his lovely wife, but he also wants to make sure that these kings and queens have actual kingdoms that they can preside over. They actually have wealth that they can preside over. And him and his wife made it their life function to explore entrepreneurial pursuits that they can share.
hey, Crystal. Good morning. Good morning. We are excited about today, and the topic that we're doing today is valuing your time. I appreciate that you have chosen to spend some of that time with us as we explore this topic. But valuing your time it is an evaluation that is worth seeking out. Hey, Stephanie.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Stephanie. She says, "Happy family. It's a terrific Tuesday." Good morning, Sister Crystal Blake. She says, "Good morning to everyone." Um, One of the essential books that I made sure that no matter what happened, when Lisa and I was parsing down our libraries, there were certain books I knew I had to keep forever. And one of the books I wanted to keep forever was Passion, Profit, and Power by Marshall Silver. And Silver is spelled S-Y, not S-I. But Passion, Profit, and Power. And early in the book, there's several things that I always talk about in that book. But one of the things he talks about in the book is how to have a great day. I mean, how to have for you, what is a great day for you? So he wants you to do this exercise where you map out your whole day an ideal day is what he called it. An ideal day when you're working, an ideal day when you don't have to work. Like what time when you wake up? What are you going to do when you wake up? What are you going to eat for breakfast? Who are you going to be with?
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of things, right? So you map out your whole ideal day. And then he started like work. And at the time when I first did it, I wasn't married to Lisa yet. I was very single at the time. And I would say I would wake up in a great city at a great hotel about 5:30 that morning and get dressed and shaved, then go down and have breakfast with wonderful people when I had stimulating conversation over breakfast. And then after breakfast, I would go into the conference room and conduct my half-day workshop. And then after a half-day workshop, I would go and have lunch with some amazing people, meeting some amazing people at lunch, those kinds of things. And that's what I did before I got my great wife. Okay, but now I should do it again because now I have the great wife. Now I have the ideal life partner for me. So an ideal day for you, if you map out your ideal day per hour, what he told us, and it was true because I did it, one where you don't have to work and one where you do, and then the one that you're doing, you're mapping it out as if you're doing the work you want to do, maybe which may not necessarily be the work that you're actually doing, but with the work you're wanting to do. Like if you're a clerk at a gas station, but you aspire to be a radio show host or whatever it is, imagine as if you were the radio show host, okay, not the clerk at the gas station. So anyway, and he says, look at the list that you created and tell me how much time you blocked off on your ideal day for television. And there was none that I blocked off on television. And he says, I suspect you didn't. Stephanie Morris says she needs your help.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle DeWitt says good morning as well.
Good morning, Michelle DeWitt. And absolutely, Stephanie, thank you. And whatever you need, just let me know. We'll make it happen. Amen. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. She says, good morning, family. Today has to be a good day. We love and love and love that you are here and you're spending time with us this morning. It is important that we are conscious about where, when, and how we spend our time. I have begun a regimen. I'm on my second week now of spending some of my time in exercise, conscious exercise. I'm taking advantage of the fact that the days are longer, and I am taking advantage of the fact that when I wake up, I immediately, before anything else, focus on getting on the treadmill, spending that time, getting longer and longer each day, getting more and more time each day. But the focus is movement. The focus for me is movement. And I know I can't gain that movement from my chair. So I need to gain that movement from the treadmill.
And she has been on it, disciplined too, and taking pictures of her actual time spent there. Stephanie Morris says, I am learning that I need to be very conscious of where I put my energy because I can spend hours on TikTok and Facebook, LOL. Thank you, Stephanie, for saying so, because there's a lot more people that would have the same confession, but they're not willing to make that confession publicly. They're not willing to say it as boldly as you just did. And you're right, Michelle DeWitt, you found that funny too.
Good morning, Melissa. I'm excited because on May the 15th, Melissa, Michelle DeWitt, Dr. Deborah, Sundiata, Kelly Little, and Brad Wilder will all be presenting speakers at the Empowerment Author Showcase. Now, just that litany provides us with an opportunity to explore that there are so many testimonies that are going to be powerfully shared at this conference. But we have a special guest. We have a surprise guest. Well, she's not a surprise. She's a special guest. We have a young lady who is embarking on her own journey, and she is going to be coming, sharing from her poetry for that particular
it'll be the most motivational event you've ever been to.
Absolutely.
That author showcase.
Absolutely. The information is on my Facebook page. We will be sharing the link. You can register. Stephanie, I don't know why you're not getting it because I sent it out. Stephanie says, Melissa, I don't know why you're not getting it because I sent it out. I'll send it again. Stephanie says, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm going to miss May 15th to be in New Jersey. It's the first of many. Well, it's the first again of many. We've done many empowerment showcases, but it'll be our first in 2022. And I don't know yet whether or not it will be streamed. I'm trying to work out the logistics because of the way that the theater, the conference room is shaped. It may not be conducive to that.
Dr. Deborah Dunstan says, I need to add conscious movement. I need to schedule time for dancing instead of just doing it when it comes to mind. We were guests on a show a couple of weeks ago by Miss Trey Kearney. And one of the things she did, I think it was in August or September, was she danced on camera every day for the month. And she posted in her Facebook stories, just a few seconds of her dancing. It might be the equivalent of, because she's close to our age, it might be the equivalent of one song. Okay, but whatever it was, she danced. She wanted to dance every day for this calendar month and post her dancing. And it got to be kind of interesting and kind of fun because you saw it every day of her in a different outfit every day, dancing to a different song every day. It was interesting. And she found a lot of value out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Michelle DeWitt says, come on, special guest. Absolutely. If you have a teenager, particularly a girl, but there actually will be a couple of speakers that are focused on the boys and the men, but you should have them in the building. Mm-hmm. You need to have them in the building because the inspiration will be tremendous, and the opportunity for seeing a peer lifting up prose and sharing from her perspective is really going to be amazing.
It's going to be the most inspiring time that you've had in a long time. Every one of these authors showcase, that's what it ends up being because of the authors, because of the author's stories, because of the author's motivation of composing that tome. It's just an inspiring time every time. The question of the day is, do you value your life? If you do, you will value your time. Do you value your time? There's so many different instances about how much you really value your time.
Our friend Michael Catlow or had. I don't know if he still practices it.
I
But he-
imagine he couldn't still be doing it, but go ahead.
But he has a practice of living his life in 30-minute blocks and evaluating if what I am planning, what I am about to do, or what I am scheduling, is it worth my 30 minutes? What can I gain from it? What will I get out of it? And I venture to say that we should all live our lives that way, not necessarily that stringently, but he would actually evaluate how that time was spent.
Every 30 minutes, his alarm on his phone would beep to know 30 minutes is come and gone. Okay. And then he would evaluate, was that 30 minutes worth my life? Was that 30 minutes well spent? I remember when we used to have men's meetings in person, I invited him to his men's meeting, and he said he had to decide. I told him it'd be about a 2-hour meeting. At the time, we met for 2 hours. Now we don't. Now we meet for about an hour. But at the time, we're meeting for 2 hours every other week. He says, Brian, when you invited me, I had to decide, was I willing to give my friend Brian McNeill 4 of my 30-minute blocks? Was he willing to, because that's how he saw it. Was he willing to give me 4 of his 30-minute blocks? And he decided that he was willing to give me 4 of his 30-minute blocks on this particular night.
If we value time as much as we value money, I think we would have a very different mindset towards it. If you have or haven't take the time to see the movie Out of Time,
you gotta
see the movie
it's
Out
essential.
of Time. It is an amazing movie. It's an old movie now. It's like 20 years old.
Yes, but it does the best job of helping us to see time as money. Okay, there's nothing better than that. You know, when you watch that movie, by the time the movie's over, you realize the value of time even greater.
Right.
Stephanie says, I value my time, and I cannot believe I cannot believe where to go. Back up some more. That is the 5th month of 2022. Yeah. Started today. Today happens to be my son Zion, my middle son's 22nd birthday today. I asked him this morning, I asked him what did the first 22 years of his life taught him? And he said to stay away from toxic people. That's what he got out of the first 22 years of his life.
Sharkey says, I'm working on this. I realized I couldn't have been valuing my time highly enough, because I've been squandering time.
Yeah, and you're not the only one. We all do. We all squander time, but we get these moments where we kind of come to ourselves and realize it. I'm watching a football game. Now, that's always the hustle, okay? Because if I enjoyed spending 6 hours watching 2 football games, and I really enjoyed it, 2 football games, 6 hours, 2 cigars, did I waste that time? And I say I didn't, because I thoroughly enjoyed it at that time.
Stephanie says, yes, it's worth my 30 minutes. Interesting concepts.
Yes, it worth?
Melissa says, that sounds like an awesome system. I want to try doing it an hour at a time and then advance. And they say it typically takes around 30 days to make or break a habit. So it would be a great hope of mine to have a better life from doing this. It's an interesting concept. I think it is an interesting
concept. It really is, but set your phone or your alarm to go off every hour, because we don't keep track of it as well. But if your device is set to ping you or to alarm you every hour that you have to pay attention to, that helps a lot. Dr. Deborah says, yes, I love that movie.
Absolutely. And Michelle DeWitt, she said, what's that movie again? It's Out of Time. Out of Time. Is Justin Timberlake in that movie?
I think it is Justin Timberlake.
I love the diversity of Justin Timberlake.
Well, fact is, and you might as well go ahead all admit it, he's freaking awesome.
He is really awesome.
Just admit it.
He's awesome. He is. I love
him. Dance, act. He's just awesome.
And comedy.
And he's funny.
He's funny.
If you have never seen Justin Timberlake do Beyonce,
oh my goodness, I love that.
And he goes all in. It's hilarious.
Absolutely. I absolutely love Justin Timberlake.
Do you value your life? If you do, you will value your time. You know, that's the question.
Absolutely. I'm excited because we do have time tonight at 7 p.m. Woo-hoo. This is the first Thursday in It's first Tuesday in the month. Women's Empowerment will be meeting tonight at 7 p.m. and we will have a special guest in the room. And that special guest might be you, but we also have an actual special guest in the room.
Interesting what Shaki says. I don't want to be in an hour-to-hour rat race, but I definitely have room for improvement. Yeah. Look at your perspective. Now, studies have shown your perspective and attitude in the beginning of an endeavor has a whole lot to do with how effective that endeavor is. You know, by calling it a rat race, okay, how about an interesting experiment? Maybe you don't have to do an hour at a time. Michael LaBeouf, who wrote a time management book, he also wrote the book GMP, Greatest Management Principle, and the principle is whatever gets rewarded gets done. Whatever you choose to reward, whether you're rewarding someone else or yourself, if you reward it, more of that thing gets done. But he says he recommends that entrepreneurs only schedule half their day and leave a lot of air in their day. You schedule just half the time because that gives you more time to get things done. And plus, you end the day feeling like you got more done.
Melissa loves Justin Timberlake, too. She says, JT is more than a jack of all trades. He's a legend. There's nothing that man can't do. And he started as a wee kiddo. That's
on the Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse Club. What was the song? MICKEYMOUSE. Mickey Mouse. That was the song. That was the Mickey Mouse Club.
That's the mouse song, right?
Yeah, okay. Stephanie Marr says, yay, women empowerment meeting tonight. Can't wait.
And tonight, I want you to come prepared for an exercise. We are going to be having an exercise. We're going to be having our typical celebration. We have a couple of things to celebrate. You guys have met with one of my recent authors. We're closing out her project right now, so we'll be celebrating that. And I'm looking forward to just hearing from the ladies as we go through our exercise together. WomenEmpowermentNetworks.com to register. And it is at 7 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there.
I think I'm going to teach something myself tonight. You know, well, I'm excited also. Thank you for mentioning that Women's Empowerment Network is tonight, as well as Male Empowerment Networks. I'm going to teach something too on the first and the third Tuesday of every month. And we've been doing this since August. Check this out. Lisa and I have been doing these Male Empowerment Network meetings and Women Empowerment meetings every month since August 2013. 2013. Simple math would say we're into our 9th year of doing this twice a month for 9 years. So many women, so many men have been impacted. There's been so much conversation twice a month, and we've learned some things too.
Well, simple math will also tell you that even though we have been facilitating women empowerment networks and male empowerment networks for 9 years, we've only known each other for 6.5.
Mm-hmm. I was doing the same. I was running a men's meeting in Greensboro, North Carolina, not even knowing about Lisa running her women's meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were doing the same things in different cities. That's another way that we know God put us together.
Shaki says, I do have a viewpoint kind of like a monk. I don't think all of our lives need to be doing. Our culture has a major push on productivity, but I believe in enjoying the process and sometimes just being. Yes, we have been talking about that at the beginning of this year quite a bit. The fact that we are human beings, but we're acting as if we are human doings, and how much out of congruence is that in our day-to-day?
Melissa Price, are you still here? Melissa Price, just let me know that you're still here because I want to do a story real quick. Singing, Stephanie Mars is singing, celebration time. Come on. I hope Melissa's still here. I'm just going to do it anyway. There was this man who decides that he's going to become a monk. Okay, Dr. Deborah says that's pretty amazing that both of you were already doing empowerment before you even met. Yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. And I'm going to tell the story about the monk man anyway. But Dr. Deborah, one of the things that I find particularly amazing about it is Lisa told me, her and her business partner told me that they had run into a situation a few times where they wished they had a man meeting to support their group, the men. And they were praying for a man to show up that could do what they were doing for the women, but to do it for the men. Doing versus being. Yes, ma'am, Stephanie. My brother Mark Greer says,
The time is the one thing you cannot get more of. Once it's gone, it's gone. All you have is 24 hours in a day. That's it. Treasure your time. Cherish your time. Value your time. Spend your time doing what you love and being with people who make life a beautiful thing. That is the maximization of your time.
you brought me mine, Dr. Dennis Waitley. He says, all we have is now and then it's gone. Now and then it's gone. And then in one of his poems that I really like, there's a line that says, time, the speedster, takes its toll. Come on. Time is a speedster and it takes its toll. I wanted to, when I started the show today, I wanted to ask the question of you guys, is life long or is life short? Because I got different perspectives from different people. Life is long or is life short? But let me tell this story real quick about this man who decides to become a monk. So he goes through the process of what he needs to do to prepare his life so that he can become a monk. And he goes to the monastery and he has to take a 1-year vow of silence. That was the requirement for 1 year, no speaking at all. And he takes that vow of silence and he goes the whole year and he doesn't say a word for a whole year. He lives at the monastery. He tends to the garden. He has the meals and all that stuff, but no speaking. At the end of the year, they bring him into the room with the headmaster and he says, you've been a good monk for us. You haven't spoken in a year. You're welcome to continue here at the monastery. You are now permitted to speak 2 words. He says, okay, no heat. That was his 2 words. There's no heat. He goes another year and he doesn't speak at all. And he was a good monk. And he brought it to the headmaster and says, you've been a good monk here. You're now permitted to speak 2 words. He says, food bad. Food bad. He decides to go another year and he doesn't speak for another whole year. They bring him into the headmaster and he says, you've been a good monk. Now I'm permitted to speak 2 words. He goes, I quit. And it says, good, because you bitch too much anyway.
Shaki, thank you for your contribution. She says, life is life. You have all the time you need, but how will you use it is my perspective.
That's it. Do you value life? Because if you do, you will value your time. See, Shaki gets the joke.
Honestly, I believe time is measured by what you desire out of it. If a person is on the brink of unexpected death, then they may want more time. If someone is awaiting a particular goal or a thing that they desire, then they probably want less time. They want time to pass more quickly so that they can hurry up and get to the finish line. So again, it's about the perspective in how you evaluate what the time is. An employee may be racing for the 1st and the 15th of the month, whereas someone who has a challenge or a project that they're working on, they want the time to finish what they're working on to be as long as it needs to be to complete the task at hand.
That's the other thing too. Chris Rock tells a story about when he was a dishwasher for Red Lobster. He says he wasn't using Red Lobster to pay his way through school. He wasn't financing anything. He didn't have any end game. It was just his job. And every day he would just scrape his shrimp. Scrape. He hated the job, but that was basically the job. Every day scraping shrimp off of plates. And he said the time used to go by so freaking slow scraping the shrimp. He says, one day, man, I decided I'm not even going to check the clock. I'm just going to scrape my shrimp. I'm not going to check the clock for at least a whole hour. Okay. So he was down there, scrape, and just going. And he's determined to wait a whole hour before he checked the clock. Because he felt every time he checked the clock, it would just make him more discouraged. Because he didn't realize he had hours there. I'm going to wait a whole hour before I check the clock. Scrape. And he says that had to be at least an hour have come and gone. So he checked the clock, 15 minutes. That's all it was. When you're doing stuff that you don't want to do, Time is long.
When I'm trying to get to that 30 minutes on the treadmill, that first 10 minutes is always grueling because I'm actually counting it. I'm looking at it. By the time I get into my groove at 10 minutes, I've forgotten to check the time. And I'm wandering, my mind is doing something else.
Or watching
So
something.
I'm just going. And that last 20 minutes can usually go faster. But those last 5 seconds, those last 5 seconds, I feel like I don't know. They just feel so long. It's like, will you hurry up and get to either the 1 mile or to the 30 minutes or whatever the goal is? And it just seems to just take forever.
It does. Man, there was just so much stuff in my head right there. So the question is life long or is life short? Okay. Chris Rock, again, one of my favorite philosophers. If your woman is mad at you, or if you've messed up and got caught messing up, life is long, okay, because she's going to punish you, and it takes a long time. But Muhammad Ali, one of my heroes, he says, life is short. He says, think about it. How much time you spend sleeping, okay? You add up all the time you spend sleeping, how much time you spend traveling to and fro different places. If you add the time you spend sleeping and just getting to there or getting from there, you don't have much time left in your life, Sister Felicia Gardner says, I'm learning to add me time in my schedule, even if it's not on a special date or time. I make time for it. My quality of life will improve once I find that perfect balance of time in all areas of my life. But through the journey, I make sure to enjoy my life. We have to value our time more because life is too short to waste it. Amen. How many people, wealthy people on their deathbed, wish they could buy more time? They have all the money for anything they want, but they can't buy a minute.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing more of these perspectives tonight. Women Empowerment Networks, we're going to do a time blocking exercise. So I definitely want you to come and share of that. In that time, there's so much that we get done in the hour that we spend together. And we do stay typically just for an hour. We're very conscientious about your time because we want you to come back. Mm-hmm. We want you to come back. We want you to know that we respect your time and that 1 hour is important enough for us to fill it with great, delicious activities and then to release you to go off and enjoy it, meditate, rest, or get back to whatever it is that you're doing in your life.
And you can get it done in an hour. You can accomplish all those goals at least laid out in an hour time. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Lee Iacocca used to say his executives who had to work on the weekends, if they had to work on, they're an executive at the Chrysler Corporation that he was in charge of, and they found themselves working on the weekends, he found that as an admission that they were not good at managing their time. You're admitting you're not a good time manager if you have to work on the weekends. That's Iacocca's philosophy, But is life long or is life short? What do you think? It's now 9:31. I saw your cards out earlier. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and do our cards, baby.
Absolutely. I have several cards that I use. So those of you, good morning, Jacqueline. So for those of you that tune into the show, sometimes we'll be doing different card decks. I'm going to refer back to the amazing mindfulness cards today. And understand that mindset is so important that it's worth using whatever tools you need to get the job done.
Amen. I want to throw in Dr. Deborah's comment as Lisa's looking through her cards.
Go ahead.
Dr. Deborah says, life seemed so long when I was younger, but now, to be honest, I am finding myself wondering where the time went. Yeah, amen. And then, again, good morning, Sister Jacqueline.
I just randomly pulled the card after shuffling, and the card is, I will always allow myself to dream big.
Always allow myself
to dream
big.
I think that's a reinforcement for me. I think I needed that card today. Um, Honestly, I do believe that that card is for me.
Thank you for
I
saying so.
will allow myself to dream big.
I love that you found value in that card for you, Lisa. I love that actually.
And the scripture is First Chronicles 4:9 and 10. Um,
I will allow myself to dream big.
Absolutely. I think that it's really, really important to give yourself permission to dream. And a lot of times I find myself qualifying the dream with the constraints that may be, right? Or that I may be perceived. But the truth of the matter is, you have to allow yourself to dream big. I will allow myself to dream big.
Go ahead, read Melissa's comment.
Melissa said, I think that card is God responding to my prayers last night. I needed that one. Thanks, Mama Lisa.
Amen. It's impressive to me how much this calendar year the word allow keeps rearing up. Allow, the power of allow. I've learned to see patience in that word. I've learned to see strength in that word. I've learned to see resilience in that word. I've learned to see responsibility in the word allow.
Shaki says, it's confirmation for me too, Lisa. I know I stopped doing that.
Wow.
And big dreaming motivates. Ooh, Lisa, that was what I was doing.
For those of you saying it motivates you, I might encourage you to either read or listen to a YouTube version of Think Big by Dr. David Schwartz. Think Big by Dr. David Schwartz. Now it's you put on your intelligence hat because he uses big words a lot. Sometimes I think it's a smarter read, but within the first 10 pages of the book, you find your chest swelling, your posture erect, and your chin up. Because the book is called Think Big, and he talks about, it's called The Magic of Thinking Big. Excuse me, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. The Magic of Thinking Big. Some of you guys have probably already read it, but The Magic of Thinking Big. Early in that book, it just changes. Just even the way you sit and think and move about your day. And he proves the point too. It's a thick book, but not that thick. It's not average thickness. But I remember it didn't take very long for it to change the way I saw myself and the world around me because of the book. That's another essential.
Woo.
What?
I just had another thought.
Oh.
Shaki says, I just finished 10X by Grant Cardone. That was a push.
You need to keep on doing those things. Read 10X by Grant Cardone. Read Can You Stand to Be Blessed by T.D. Jakes. That's a little short book. But Can You Stand to Be Blessed? That book fills you up with, encouragement as well. Can You Stand? Notes from a Friend by Tony Robbins is another short book that got me through some things.
The Magic of Thinking Big is a great throwback.
It is a throwback. You're right. But there's a lot of throwbacks that we still pull up on because nothing can beat them. Like, what book is ever better than How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie? What book is better than Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Napoleon Hill? It's hard to beat some classics, Shaki. It's just hard to beat them. And then the book is good. What book can beat the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People when so many other books reference these books?
Absolutely.
And then Lisa reminded us all last week. I was saying this was in this book and that was in this book. And Lisa reminded me of the original book where these great thoughts came from.
Absolutely.
The basic instructions before leaving Earth, the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've been smashing Ogmandino, the greatest salesman in the world. I love him.
Greatest salesman in the world, a better way to live, the greatest miracle. We love Ogmandino, girl. Come on with us.
I like Paulo Viejo as well.
Paul Coelho?
Yes, Paulo Coelho.
The Alchemist. Yeah.
Brother Mark says, as for me, as time in the universe is concerned itself, life is short. We aren't really here that long. The Bible references 70. Here's another question. Given your time on this earth, What is the meaning of life for you?
Yeah. What's the meaning of life? I have found meaning in that why did God give me the desire to read another book on sales and another book on sales? Why did he make me excited about doing that and not someone else? And the meaning that I've applied to it, Brother Mark, is that I believe that God has uniquely gifted and qualified me to teach men and women how to sell themselves and their services. I believe that he has commissioned me and wants me to do this. And if I don't do this with all of my enthusiasm and what I have within me, I am not honoring God and the gift that he gave me. I think I'm supposed to be doing the work that I'm currently doing because God qualified me that way. That's part of the meaning for my life. But that's not the only meaning of my life. I want to be a good husband to my wife. I want to be a good father to my children. I want to be a good friend to my friends. I want to have meaning in my life in more than one way.
Shaki is reading Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone now.
Yes. I thought Norman Vincent Peale wrote, he wrote The Power of a Positive Mental Attitude, Norman Vincent Peale.
Jacqueline said, I must dream big. To do the greeting cards the days I am tired or find myself challenged with continuing to recover from COVID. Thinking big gets me there. Got a call from Texas about the cards, and they will be shared with the sorority for a possible order in the future. I continue to be humbled and honored about all of it.
A sorority of grown women that look at Sister Jacqueline's cards are going to be impressed. They're going to fall in love, and they're going to. I used to do a sales presentation called the Ooh and Ah presentation, okay? And I used to try to teach people how to do the Ooh and Ah presentation, and most people couldn't do it, okay? But I could do a Ooh and Ah presentation on Jackie's cards, okay? Like if I was trying to sell Jackie's cards to a store, for example, I would have them in a small case. Okay, like a block case, okay, that it can't get squished. Now, I'm about to show you guys something. I'm about to show you greeting cards like you've never seen before. And I know that you've never seen these before. And I'm going to know that you're going to love them right away. Because when I take them out, one at a time, you guys are going to feel compelled to make this noise. Some of you guys in the room are going to go, ooh. And some of you guys in the room are going to go, ah, when you see these cards. And I know you're going to go ooh and ah because others before you have oohed and ahed about what I'm about to show you. Matter of fact, I'm so confident that you're going to go ooh or go ah that if you don't immediately go ooh and ah, I'll just tell you when you should. Are you ready? And then I will take out one card and I will hold it up and I will say, go ahead now. And they'll go ooh. And I say, touch it. And they go, ah. Jacqueline, that's what I can do with your cards. I used to do the ooh and ah on anything. I do the ooh and ah presentation on Windows. I can do the ooh and ah presentation on my gym facility. Sister Crystal Blake says,
storytelling, you are so good at it.
Thank you, my sister. Chucky says the power of thinking big is Norman Vincent Peale. I think you're right. LOL, going off memory is okay. They're all in the same ilk. Okay. Now I only know that because I've read these books and I've read them more than once. Okay, because I think God gave me that Brian, you can find joy in this kind of book.
Michelle DeWitt to Jacqueline, she says, that is awesome. It is awesome, and it is true. Jacqueline says, love you, Brian. I'm so using God.
You can have it. Oh. You can have it and do it in Jacqueline style.
Felicia said, as we live our lives, time can be both slow and fast, depending on how long we stay in situations based on our mindset at that time. Absolutely.
I find that 1 hour before we appear here races by. Okay. If I happen to be in bed at 8 a.m., okay, I say, okay, it's 8 a.m. I got an hour before the show. And I might Next thing you know, it's 8:15. Are you kidding? I just turned over. That's all I did. I went from this to this. Now it's 8:15. Okay. All right. Let me go downstairs and make me something to eat. 8:30. Are you kidding? It's only a minute away. How can 15 minutes be gone? Okay. I gotta go brush my face and wash my teeth. Yes, brush my face and wash my teeth. That's exactly what I said. 8:45. Are you kidding me? What happened to the? I gotta make coffee for the show. It's 8:52. Oh, it takes 5 minutes on my coffee maker. That's what happens an hour before the show every time. So you're right, Sister Felicia.
And that's why I don't stop. You can't talk to me. When I get up, I'm gone. Don't have nothing to say.
She's learned, and she's right, that if we allow ourselves, either one of us, allow ourselves to stop and talk, unless we're doing the pre-show preparation stuff. But what happens is other things that we may have planned on doing won't get done. Mm-hmm. We'll get caught up in that.
But even the pre-show stuff, I don't want to hear nothing about it until 8 o'clock. From 7 to 8, when I get up, that's my time. Or it's our time, but it's not work time. It's not pre-show time. It's just time that can flow for the things that I need to have done.
Lisa's gotten so smart with that she races out of the room at 7 because she knows if her husband stops her, it'll throw her game off. So she gets out fast as she can. Don't think I don't know.
I do. I leave. I don't even look back.
If she can help it, because if I say, hey, baby,
no,
this is what I need.
No. Nope.
Because I'm going to ask her to do something or bounce a business situation off of her, which I often do. Michelle DeWitt says, I showed your cards now. I have requested your gift will make room for you. You love it.
Brother Mark says, last little bit.
It don't have to be the last little bit, but go ahead.
Last little bit for the day.
Oh, man, look at
each of you were put on this earth to be amazing. There's someone along your journey who needs to experience you.
Amen.
Why? Because you are amazing. You were put here to do amazing things. One of those things is to impact people. So today, be amazing.
It's now 9:45. We're supposed to start our greeting songs 4 minutes ago, but we lost track of time. Let's go to the top, please.
Time won't give me time.
Let's go to the top, baby.
Time makes others do. Lovers do.
Lovers feel like they got something real,
I guess.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
All right. First up today, we're going to do our greeting songs. That's our way of saying thank you to those who chose to contribute to the show. First up, her name is Mai Jones on here, but we know her as Shaki Jones. And her jam is Guess Who's Back again. Shaki's back. Tell a friend. Shaki's back.
I love it.
Sister Katura Green has a jam too, and it goes back to life, back to Katura Green.
However do you want it?
However do you need it?
Do you need it?
Prompt me with Crystal's jam again. We know it. Crystal, give us the prompt again. Okay, I know it too. Let's keep going while Crystal.
Dr. Deborah's here. I stopped for a reason, Brian.
What are you doing? I'm trying to get in all in time. You got a 10 o'clock appointment. I got a 10:30 appointment. So stop holding up our time.
Now you are forcing time. Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
Good morning, Sister Nicole Williams. Brother Alton, I always love that you came through here. Can you please scroll?
Absolutely.
Stephanie Mars has a jam too. Yes, right. I got it. Crystal Blake is in the air. Crystal Blake is everywhere, helping families ensure their needs. Crystal Blake will do it with ease. Thank you, Crystal.
Hey, Stephanie.
Stephanie Mars has a jam. Go ahead.
Life has new meaning to me.
There is beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love. Ooh, ooh, Ooh. Dr. Beverly has one of the coolest logos, and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Michelle DeWitt has a jam as well.
DeWitt.
DeWitt, Michelle DeWitt. That's right. You can do that anytime. Melissa Price has a jam as well. Bam, 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 bam. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price.
Hey, Melissa. Hey, Felicia.
Miss Felicia has a jam.
Felicia, we love you. You're the one for me.
The butterfly poet herself, Mr. Cole Williams, says, good morning, empowerment duo. Miss seeing you two. Don't always have opportunity to catch you all on time. Love you guys. We love you back.
We love you back. And we would love for you to come out on the 15th as well to see one of our amazing poets and give her some encouragement, poet to poet.
And you could. Come on.
I'm trying to make sure we can see the names.
Mark Greer has a jam. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. Good morning, Brother Mark. Mark gave us some today. Sister Jacqueline has, according to Jacqueline and
Jacqueline Rosier, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only one, my heart. I'm so glad that you are mine.
Good morning, good morning. She'll be out of town. Of course she's going to be out of town because she keeps it moving like that.
That is okay. There will be others. May the 15th, mark your calendar, save the date.
Tonight, Male Empowerment Networks and Women Empowerment Networks as well.
That's right, at 7 p.m. We look forward to having you there, sharing and celebrating with you. 7 p.m., go to womenempowermentnetworks.com to register or maleempowermentnetworks.com to
attend. Yeah, you can just click attend the meeting. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to fill out no registration stuff. Again, I am so grateful that each one of you chose to spend a few moments of your time with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We're glad that you chose to spend some of your valuable time with us today. Don't forget to have sex.
I thought you was about to forget.
No.